other receiving side of that blowing referee call, of the fourth down conversions, of a team that just kind of looked outplayed in the first half, and that was the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers did blow a lead versus the Detroit Lions last night. They had a 4-point lead. Actually, yeah, they had a 4-point lead, and then they just kept going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Ultimately end up losing the game on a controversial referee call. If you guys want to know what the call was, go back to the very first minute of today's show on Mike's Thoughts, and I'll explain it to you there. But the Green Bay Packers now, guys, have 4 losses on the season. 1, 2, 3, 4 losses on the season. They have a combined loss by a combined 20 points. They have 5-point loss to the Eagles on week number 1, 2-point loss to the Minnesota Vikings, 10-point loss to the Detroit Lions a couple weeks ago, and then a 3-point loss to the Detroit Lions last night. Of those 3 teams, they are top 4 in the NFC. Let's just be honest. Eagles, Lions, 1 and 2. Vikings are probably number 4, maybe even number 3. Top 3 teams in the NFC right now. So the Packers' losses this season are to the top 3 teams in the NFC. So the question that I want to propose is, can the Green Bay Packers legitimately make a Super Bowl run? Can the Green Bay Packers go out there and run the table from here on out and make it to the Super Bowl? When you look at the Green Bay Packers' remaining schedule, it's not easy, but it's not that tough either. They play the Seahawks, a very winnable game. They play the Saints, a very winnable game. They play the Vikings, going to be a dogfight. Let's just call it how it is. The Vikings are playing some good football right now. And then they end the season playing the Chicago Bears. So I probably see 1 loss left in them this season, making an 11-5 season. With that being said, I think 11-5 will get them 6 in the playoffs. In the NFC playoffs, that will get you 6th seed. I think the Vikings end up in 5th seed with 12 wins. But let's say the playoffs start today. Let's say the NFL playoffs start December 6th at 10:15 p.m. on the East Coast time. Green Bay Packers would be the 6th seed, playing the 3 seed, the Seattle Seahawks. They probably beat the Seahawks. Let's just be honest. They probably go in there and they beat the Seahawks yet again. Sweeping the Seahawks this season. Beating them week 15 and beating them in the wild card round. Ooh, baby. Right? Now, let's say they don't play the Seahawks. Let's say they play they play the Arizona Cardinals. Let's say the Arizona Cardinals jump up there in the 3rd seed and win the NFC West. They're going to beat the Arizona Cardinals. Let's say somehow, some way, the Falcons jump up into the 3rd seed. They win the South and they stop sucking. They get the 3rd seed. The Green Bay Packers probably beat the Atlanta Falcons too. Actually, no, they beat the Atlanta Falcons. The only team that I'm worried about the Green Bay Packers in the first round is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are a team that nobody in the NFC wants to play, especially the Detroit Lions, especially the Philadelphia Eagles. They don't want to see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers again. They just don't. So let's say the playoffs were to start today. Seahawks versus Packers, round 1. Packers win that game. Let's say everything holds face there, right? Everything holds face. So let's say the Commanders get beat by the number 2 seed, the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's say the Minnesota Vikings get beat by the Atlanta Falcons in the 4-5 game. Let's say everything holds face. Divisional round, you're looking at the Green Bay Packers taking on the 1 seed in the Detroit Lions. What have I been saying to you guys the last 3 or 4 weeks here? That the hardest thing to do in the NFL is beat a team 3 times. The hardest thing to do in college is beat a team 3 times. The hardest thing to do in the high school ranks is to beat a team 3 times. That's why when the Green Bay Packers play the Detroit Lions in the divisional round in the NFC playoffs, it is going to be a game to watch. It's going to be must-see TV. It would not shock me one freaking bit if Jordan Love goes out there and finally balls out against NFC North teams. I understand this season Jordan Love so far is 1-3 versus NFC North teams. I understand so far this season he has 6 touchdowns to 5 interceptions versus NFC North teams. But you do also have to understand that it's going to be a different animal come playoff. You do have to understand that the Detroit Lions probably may not be playing the last 3 weeks of the NFL season. Let's just call a spade a spade. They're going to rest week 18. They got a bye week. Week 17, they're going to play half of the game. They want to be rested. They're going to be rusty. Guys, it would not shock me one freaking bit at all if the Green Bay Packers make a Super Bowl run. It would not shock me one bit at all if we see the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Green Bay Packers in the NFC Championship game. If the Detroit Lions want to make it to the NFC Championship game, their best bet is going to be the number 2 seed. Because you don't want to play the Green Bay Packers in the divisional round. I'm just saying, you do not want to play the Green Bay Packers in the divisional round. Give yourself a chance. Give yourself a little bit of confidence. Give that game to Rick in there, right? Guys, the Green Bay Packers are a 100% Super Bowl caliber team. The Green Bay Packers are a 100% threat in the NFC playoffs. The Green Bay Packers, despite what we saw last night, despite them losing to the Detroit Lions twice now, despite them losing to the Minnesota Vikings, despite them losing to the Philadelphia Eagles, they are a team you do not want to play in the NFC playoffs. So, guys, can the Green Bay Packers make a Super Bowl run? Will the Green Bay Packers make a Super Bowl run? I'm saying they can, and they'll definitely make it to the NFC Championship game. I think they are an NFC Championship game caliber team. Now, pending who they play in the first round, obviously, if it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, it might be a one and done. I'm just saying, nobody wants to play the Buccaneers. But as long as the Buccaneers are on the outside looking in or in the wild card thing, Green Bay are going to be A-okay, baby. They're going to be A-okay. So what do you guys think? Can the Green Bay Packers make a Super Bowl run? Henry Gray, what's up, man? He says, not happening. He says, FTP. I believe that means F the Packers. I think that's what people are like saying. And John is saying FTC. I guess that means F the Chiefs. I don't know. I'm just saying. Levi Nay says the Lions suck. Levi, slow it down, baby. Slow it down, baby. Josh Olsen says the Packers are a very dangerous team. I still have them number 4 in my power rankings. And honestly, Josh, they were 5th in my power rankings, right? No, did they break the top 4? No, yeah, they were 5th. They were 5th in my power rankings. And pending on how this week's goes, they might slide up. Even though they lost, 3-point loss to the Detroit Lions, they might slide up. You never know. You never know. That's why you guys tune in Tuesday. Tuesday. Henry Gray, just read this Easy's voice. Easy E. Good Lord. Flashback. Casey says, I can see the Green Bay Packers giving an upset in the playoffs, but not making it to the big game. So, Casey, are you seeing them as because they're going to be a wild card game, right? They're going to be a wild card team, 5, 6, 7 seed. More than likely going to be a 6 seed. More than likely they're going to play the winner of the NFC West, whether it's the Seahawks, whether it's the Cardinals, whether it's the Rams, whether the 49ers come out of the dust, right? It's going to be one of those teams, more than likely. Would that be considered an upset? Would that be considered an upset? 11-6 Green Bay Packers, or be 12-5 Green Bay Packers playing a 9-8 Seattle team. Would that be considered an upset? Or is your upset in the divisional round when they play either the Eagles or the Lions in that divisional round? Would that be your upset? Where does the upset consider? What do you guys say is an upset? Is it the seeding aspect? Does a 5 beat a 4? Is that an upset? 7 versus a 2? Is that an upset? I'm just curious. What do you guys consider an upset? James Frank says Baker and the Bucks are 2-0 versus Philly and Detroit. Baker Dangerfield. And it's the defense that gives the Lions and the Eagles fits. It's that defense. I'm just saying. John says the Falcons will not get the number 3 seed. And I'm probably with you on that, John. But I'm just speaking how the facts are. And the facts are, if the playoffs were to start today, the Falcons are the 3rd seed as of right now. So I'm just saying. Henry Gray says, not when Dan Campbell owns the Pack Fucks. Listen, Henry, thank you for joining us here, man. I definitely appreciate you. You are a new name. I really like that picture. I might have to steal that and post it somewhere. I love the glowing of the Detroit Lion there. But beating a team 3 times is tough, baby. Beating a team twice in the NFL season is tough. Hell, beating a team once in the NFL season is tough. I'm just saying. Do not be sleeping on the Green Bay Packers. Don't be sleeping on them, Henry. Don't be Henry. Don't be sleeping on Henry, I should say. John says the hardest thing to do is to win 3 Super Bowls too. You are exactly right, John. You are exactly right. And that is why me as a Chiefs fan, I am not predicting them to go to the Super Bowl because it is tough to even get there, let alone win 1 or 2 or 3 of them. It would not shock me if they're a second-round exit to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm just saying. Just saying. Don't shoot the messenger. Josh Olson says this time, if the Eagles play the Bucs in the playoffs, the Eagles will mop them up. As of right now, yes, they would. If they were to play right now, the Eagles are beating everybody. They're beating the Detroit Lions right now. If they were to play Week 14 right now, the Eagles are beating everyone. That's why they're number 1 in my power rankings. But the playoffs do not start right now. But the playoffs start 4 or 5 weeks away. A lot of things can happen. That is what is so awesome about the NFL is literally we are talking about how great the Baltimore Ravens are. 5-game winning streak. MVP Lamar Jackson. Balling out. Look out, Super Bowl. Here we come. Now, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, are they even going to make the playoffs? Lamar Jackson lost his MVP. Derrick Henry over the hill already. This is what is so exciting about the NFL is from week to week, literally everything can change. The Carolina Panthers were out for dead. Tank mode. Are they winning a game? Sit Bryce Young, trade the man. Get him out of there. Andy Dalton goes into Las Vegas, whoops the Raiders' asses. They come back down to reality, suck a little bit. He gets in a car wreck, breaks his arm, whatever he does. Insert Bryce Young. Bada bing, bada boom. All of a sudden, the Carolina Panthers are a team that, okay. You should have beat the Bucs. You should have beat the Chiefs. You already had a 2-game winning streak. Oh, wow, slow it down, baby. That is why I love the NFL. That's why I love watching the NFL. Some days, let's say it's a Wednesday afternoon, it is a slow day at work. I have a big 80-inch TV on my wall. What do? I go to NFL Sunday Ticket, and I just pick a random game. Let me watch it. Because literally, you see the change from first quarter to second quarter to fourth quarter. You can just see the emotion of a roller coaster, and I love it. I love it. I love football. I love it. Casey says the Bucs kind of faded out, was rooting for them at the start of the season. So the reason why the Bucs faded out was because Chris Godwin goes down, out for the season. I believe the very next week, Mike Evans goes down, out for 4 weeks, 3 weeks plus the bye week. Now they're back. Mike Evans is back. They found Otton, right? Is it Chris Otton? Found a little diamond in the rough. Defense is getting a little healthy, right? They coming back. It's the roller coaster of emotion. That's why football is so awesome. So awesome. Love it. Real ball talk with Billy Jack's back in the chat. Hey, this man owes us push-ups, Hoffy. Where's he at? Billy Jack, don't you owe us some push-ups, my man? You kind of ghosted us. But he says facts. A couple calls, a couple no calls, go the other way. They beat the Lions. And honestly, a real ball talk with Willie Jack. This loss is a blessing in disguise for the Green Bay Packers. This loss might be the little bit of awakening that they needed. We spoke on it earlier this week. Does a team need to lose? Is a loss a good loss, right? And people were ridiculing me in my comments like, "Oh, you said the Detroit Lions need to lose. How is this aging? Whatever." First of all, that's the dumbest thing ever. This aged well. Like, come on, that's stupid. Whatever. But I did say that the Detroit Lions need to lose moving forward. I think they need a reset moving forward. Maybe the reset was a narrow victory versus the Green Bay Packers. Maybe this loss for the Green Bay Packers to the Detroit Lions is the reset that they needed to make a nice little push. You see, people are consistently playing checkers, right? You are consistently playing checkers, and you're not even playing checkers good. You see the black guys over there, they set you up. They put their pawn out there for you to jump. Oh, that's easy to jump. Boom, that's my money. And then all of a sudden they're boom, 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 3 jumps in a row. You're like, what? Well, what just happened? You have to be playing checks while playing checkers. That's just what it is. And David says, slow it down, baby. Green Bay Packers are not going anywhere, David. He says. David says, slow it down, baby, on Green Bay. David, no. I can't slow it down on Green Bay. I've liked Green Bay Packers the last 6 weeks, 7 weeks. Yes, I understand they were on a 7 out of an 8-game winning streak, and now they're 7 of 9. And like, I get it, but ever since that bye week, ever since Jordan Love come back healthy, the week after they lost to the Detroit Lions, the last 3 or 4 weeks, they've been playing some good football. You cannot deny it. That is why I love doing the man hour, because when you see it, you can start boasting it up. Boast it up. And Laura says, no, slow it down, baby. The cheeseheads aren't going nowhere. Cheeseheads are not going. Come on now. John says, hang on. About to drop some Dilaudid in my, I don't know what that is. Dilaudid, and I want to hallucinate. What? I'm not hallucinating. Henry Gray says we suck at losing, meaning the Detroit Lions. Yeah, you guys don't lose very, 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 very well. I'm just saying. Y'all don't lose very well. Debunk the junk says the Lions go for it on 4th in their own end, the Green Bay end of the game. That DC is when we win the go for it. I hope so. Landon Hockey 74 says, what about the Commanders? Oh, Landon. The Commanders are a one and done. The Commanders are false. They're what is Mark D say? Fugazi? Trying to be all Italian and be like Fugazi. Nobody cares about your 80s grunge band. The Commanders are one and done. Commanders aren't going nowhere. The Commanders may not even make the playoffs, Landon. Look out for the Dallas Cowboys, baby. Actually, look out for the Chicago Bears. We're talking about the Chicago Bears coming up in Factor Crap. Slow it down. Real Ball Talk with Willie Jack says they're too good to be an upset to anyone. How can you be too good to upset anyone? But you're probably right. And Henry wants to say the Green Bay Packers may not even make the playoffs. The Green Bay Packers may lose the rest of their games. The Green Bay Packers may just puke on themselves and miss the playoffs. Well, Henry, they are a 9-win team right now. The only way they can miss the playoffs is if the Chicago Bears win out, winning the last 5 of their games, right? And they do have the strength of schedule tiebreaker or some crazy just like that. But the Saints have to win out. 49ers have to win out. The Bears have to win out. And something else had to happen for them to miss the playoffs. They're in. They're in. Man, I'm way behind on comments. My bad, guys. My bad. Tyler Hilton says, let's go, Chiefs. Let's go, baby. Chiefs Kingdom rise up. Landon says, do you think Washington will make the playoffs? Yes, I do. I do think the Washington Commanders will make the old playoff-a-ronies, even though they are shitting the bed right now. Henry says, I love just talking crap because I've never been able to do this before. And Henry, keep at it, man. Keep at it. Enjoy the ride. Because at every stretch of the imagination, no matter how good you think your team is going into the next season, it could all be over like just like that. I am a baseball fan. I am obviously a Kansas City Royals fan. This season, what was it like? I don't know. A month, 2 months into the season, we've won like 3 games. Like, this is over, right? But I consistently watch, and I catch games here or there. I don't watch like 9 games a week like Combsy does, but I catch 3 or 4 games a week. All of a sudden, we're making a playoff push, right? It's exciting. We're in the playoffs. Let's go. I mean, but I've been with the Kansas City Royals. I've been at the pinnacle. We've won the World Series, and literally the very next year, we're a 100-loss team again. It's crazy. Henry, you being a Detroit fan, I'm sure you're a Detroit Tigers fan too, and you know it. You guys win the World Series, and then you lose the next 8 years, and you all of a sudden, it's enjoy it. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Facts. Any given Sunday, baby. Let's go. Debunk the Junk says Falcons over the Vikings in an upset if the Falcons don't win. Somebody's getting fired. Kirk Cousins is getting fired. Frank Glass is in the chat. What's up, Frank? What's up? Colts Nation for the shoe rides up. I am officially a season ticket holder for the Indianapolis Colts. I'm only like 30 minutes from Indianapolis, so it is what it is. It is what it is. Let me go ahead and keep on scrolling down. Sorry, guys. I got up. Oh, there it is. Fugazi. Real Billy Check says, are you from the KC area? Small world. I grew up in Mizzou. M-I-Z-Z-O-U. So,